Today's lesson is about determiners. What is a determiner? Determiners are words that are used before a noun. Basically, they are only words used before a noun. That house is big. So the word in red is a determiner followed by a noun. So your house is a noun. She had some milk. Again, some is the determiner here, followed by a noun, milk. So if you see, determiners are words that are used before a noun. Here the words in red are the determiners followed by nouns. In the first example it is house, the second example it is milk. What do they do? What is the function of a determiner? So determiners help us to know which noun we are referring to and how many of that noun is available. So they do two works. One, they can refer to any noun, or they can tell us how many of that noun is available. So first example, this apple is sweet. So we know the word in red is a determiner followed by the noun apple. So this example is actually used to refer to the apple. The function of the determiner this here is to refer to the apple we are talking about. Which apple is sweet? This apple is sweet. So we are referring to the apple which is sweet. Second example, there are many dogs on the street. So the word in red is the determiner followed by the noun dogs. So second example is used to tell us the number, how many of the noun is available as we said here. So there are many dogs. How many dogs? Many dogs. So second example is to tell us the quantity. First example tells us which apple we are referring to. Second example tells us how many dogs are there. Many dogs, not a particular number given. Third example, her dress is pretty. So here the word her is determiner, tells us which dress is pretty. Her dress is pretty. So dress is a noun, her is a determiner here. Now let us see types of determiners. So determiners are divided into the following categories. Articles, which we have already seen in our previous videos, demonstratives, distributives, numerals, quantifiers, and possessives. We'll see articles, the first category of determiners. They are a and the. We already know that articles are divided into two categories, definite articles and indefinite articles. So the is definite article. We use the only with specific noun to refer to a particular thing or an object, whereas indefinite articles are used to refer to unspecific noun. A and on, they both are called as indefinite articles. How to use articles we have already seen in our previous video. I'll give you the link for you to go through in detail. So some more detail about articles we'll see before moving on to the next category. So articles, there are two types we know, indefinite articles and definite articles. Indefinite articles are used with singular countable nouns, only with singular countable nouns, whereas definite article is used with singular, plural, countable as well as uncountable nouns. So I'm highlighting here. Why? Because indefinite articles, we mean a and an, both are used only with singular countable nouns. The nouns which can be counted, like 1, 2, 3, 1 car, 2 apple, 3 banana. So which can be counted or called countable nouns. So a and an can be used only with singular countable nouns, whereas definite article the can be used for singular, plural, countable as well as uncountable nouns. So here is a picture for us to get a clear idea. So countable nouns are things which we can count as 1, 2, 3, whereas uncountable, we can weigh them, we can find out their measurement, but we cannot count them, like sand, sugar, salt, water. These things cannot be counted, but they can be measured. So things which cannot be counted are called as uncountable nouns, whereas things which can be counted are called as countable nouns. So indefinite articles a and an are used only with singular countable nouns, whereas definite article the is used for singular, plural, countable as well as uncountable nouns. So how to differentiate when to use a and an? So we know it already in the previous video. Please go through the link if you have not already seen it. So moving on to the second category of determiners, uh, demonstratives. So based on the distance and counts of the noun, there are 4 demonstratives. So based on distance and count. So count, if there is only one particular object. If the distance is near, we use the determiner this. But if the distance is far, we use the determiner that. We mean to say, if the particular noun we are referring to, here the object is rose. If rose is close by our hand, then we use this rose. But if it is far away, then we say that rose. So this and that, both of them are determiners used only for singular noun. Now let us see for plural. If the noun is plural, if it is nearby, if the noun is nearby, then we say these. If it is far away, then we use those. So the 4 demonstratives are this, that, these, those. If they are close by, then we use this and these. If the noun is far away, then we say that or those. So let us see some example for demonstratives. Our first example is, this camera is mine. If you remember, the demonstratives this and that are used for singular noun. Here we are talking about a singular noun, which is a camera, and this is close by hand, so we can say this camera is mine. But if the object is far in distance, then we use that. Second example, is that bag yours? So the person speaking, for him the bag is not close by. So in that case, when the object is singular and it is far from the person who is speaking, then we use the determiner that. Is that bag yours? Next example, these cakes look fresh and yummy. If we look at the picture here, the kid is standing near the window and looking at these cakes which are fresh and yummy. So obviously these are close by, and hence we use determiner these. Last example. I cannot forget those days of my college. Here, days is a plural noun and hence we'll be using either of these or those. But these can be used for representing time also. So, days of college are over in past. So, to represent time past tense also we can use those, and if we are talking about present tense, we can use these days. So when we say these days we are actually representing current time, but when we say those days we are actually talking about our past. So let us wind up our part 1 with few question and answers. First question. She decided to study dash home science. If you remember the article video, I have also included a part where we may omit using any article. So here we are given two choices. One, we can either use the, or we can omit the article and put a zero. Zero means we don't need an article for this particular sentence. So as we think, you all think, we will move to the next example. I am dash university student. So we are speaking about the one singular noun. Here I means one singular. So we are given two choices, A and N. And so university, though it starts with the letter U, the sound it gives is not a vowel sound. So you know what to go with. The third option is David is dash best player in the team. We are given two choices there, and fourth one, we have been living in dash city for 3 years. Two choices, this and that, because we are talking about city, it's a singular noun, so we are given this and that. According to the context of the sentence, we have to choose either of these. Last one, sorry, fifth one, dash man standing near the table is my brother. Choices are given this and that. The final example, what are you doing dash days? Choices are these and those. Now let us go back to our first question and answer. So she decided to study dash home science. So if we remember from article section, there are some cases where we have to avoid article. So this falls into that category. So we don't need any article for this particular sentence. So the sentence will be complete without any article. So we can just say she decided to study home science. Second one, we already said university is not giving a vowel sound, so obviously we'll be going with a. I am a university student. David is best is a superlative degree which we are using here, so this should be preceded by the. David is the best player in the team. Now here it comes. We have been living in dash city. City is singular, so both of these we can use. So how to find out which one to use? If you look at the tense here, we are using present perfect continuous tense. When we say continuous tense living, we are still representing the present tense. So we should go with this because it is close by. Present tense in time is actually where we are living. So this. Dash man standing near the table is my brother. So we are talking about a man who's standing near the table, not standing with the person who is speaking. So we should go with the determiner that, because the man we are referring to is not standing near us but near the table. Now next one, what are you doing dash days? Days plural, so we are given two choices which are appropriate for plural noun. But if we look at the tense here, we are using current present tense, present continuous tense, are and doing. So for present tense we should be using these. For past tense we should be using those. So here we should go with these. What are you doing these days? I hope you understood. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching it. If you have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe. I'll see you soon in the next video. Thank you.